Laura here and welcome to today's yoga workout. So we are going to get started in mountain pose. So on your feet, standing up, starting with our feet together, abs pulled in, shoulders back and down. And we're going to rotate so our palms are facing forwards. We're going to breathe in, reaching out, breathing in, and then breathing out. Breathing in, and then diving down, abs pulled in, so we're supporting our lower back, and we're into forward fold. Now in this position you may wish to bend your knees so you can then lean further forwards and you won't feel that pulling in your back. Make sure your abs are embraced, and you can gradually focus on trying to straighten those legs a little bit. This is a position that might take a while though, so don't overdo it. It can take years to get there. Hands just below your kneecaps on your shins into flat back. So reaching your butt out one way, so really lengthening your spine, and then imagine somebody's pulling you forwards through your forehead. So really lengthening. And then we're going to go back into forward fold. This time bend your legs, hands onto the floor. You're going to step back, engage those abs, and you're here in plank. And then from here we're going to put our knees onto the floor and we're going to go into tabletop pose. So keeping your core embraced, so imagine you're pulling your belly button in. You're going to breathe in and look up to the ceiling, really lengthening your chest away from your hips and your hips away from your chest, and then breathing out one vertebrae at a time, curling under. So this is your cat and cow. Breathing in, so make sure you're not just trying to arch your lower back and dumping into that lower spine. When we're doing any kind of back curls, we're thinking about length first before we think about that curl. So let's try that again, breathing in, lengthening first, and then curling. Okay, back into a neutral tabletop. Again, embracing that core. You're going to take one leg back, so I'm taking my left leg back, and then the opposite hand forwards, so my right hand. Now for some people, you may wish to stay here. If you want a little bit more, you can raise either your hand or your leg, and really think about length. It's not about height or lengthening, and if you want some more, you can do both at the same time, and you'll really feel the core working, feel it beginning to warm up and getting engaged. Feel that fire in the belly. Okay, so from here, hand and foot come back onto the floor. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. So taking the other leg back, other hand forwards. So you may wish to stay here, that's fine. If you want to make it a little bit more advanced, you can take a leg off the floor. Really think about length and really reaching that leg back. And you can take the hand off the floor. Okay. Hand and leg back to the floor, and we're going to go into child's pose. So we're going to do a couple of downward dogs later on in this workout. If at any point the downward dog is a bit too much, you're going to take it into child's pose. So from here, you're just going to sit your bum back, knees can come slightly further apart, reach your hands out, and then try and get your forehead down onto the floor. And we're just going to take 3 breaths here. So this is your child's pose. Breathing in, breathing out, that's 1. Breathing in, breathing out, last 1. Breathing out. Okay, so coming forwards, back onto our hands. So remember, child's pose position. You can go into that at any point if the workout gets too much. Take one leg back, other leg back. We're back into plank. If that's too much, take your knees down. And for now, everyone, put your knees onto the floor. And we're going to go down to the floor. And then staying here, shoulders back. You're going to think about length first. And we're going to go into baby cobra. So bringing your chest forwards and extending those legs back at the same time. Shoulders back, chest up. And then coming down. And then from here, we're going to push up onto the hands, knees onto the floor. Tuck those feet under, and then hips up to the ceiling, push through with those arms. Keep those legs bent for now. Ears in line with your shoulders, so you're going to make a frame with your head. And then gradually, if it feels okay, try and straighten those legs. And then what you're aiming to do is to be able to get your heels onto the floor, but that can be something that can take years to get to that stage. So just taking it to where feels comfortable. And then looking forwards, I'm going to step both feet through. I'm going to go into flat back, forward fold, and then breathing in to come up. Hands together. If you want, you can add in a little reach and a little arch. I'm going to dive back down. Flat back, forward fold, hands onto the floor, stepping back for each plank, knees onto the floor, down to the floor, shoulders back, lengthening into baby cobra. Tuck those toes under, knees stay on the floor, push up with your hands, take your hips back into downward dog. Remember, option to take it into child's pose if this gets too much. And then from here, you're going to bring your right leg through, and you're going to put your left foot down onto the floor, and you're going to come up and face me. So make sure this leg is turned out. So try to avoid the knee rolling forward, so turn it out, use these muscles, and you're going to extend those arms and look along that front arm. And this is warrior 2. And we're just going to stay here and breathe. You're going to start feeling these legs getting on fire. That's a good thing. If you can, try and sink and go a little bit deeper. So from here, turning our palms up, we're going to breathe in. And then we're going to breathe out and relax down. Breathing in. And as we relax down, try and go a little bit deeper. One more time. Breathing in, breathing out, and holding it here in warrior 2. So really try and lengthen those arms. And then with the front arm, we're going to reach, put that hand onto your thigh, and take the other hand up. Now if this is too much, you can keep the hand on your hip. Otherwise we can reach that arm up. If it feels okay on your neck, you can look up to the hand. Otherwise you can keep looking forwards. And then from here we can take the hand down if you want some more or variation. You can reach the arm ahead and then turn to look up into that elbow. And then we're going to come back into warrior 2. And then we're going to straighten that front leg, turn the feet in. Engaging these abs, so bringing that belly button in, reaching in, breathing up, looking up to ceiling, and then coming down into a wide leg forward fold. Just relaxing, loosening that leg. So this should feel comfortable. If it's pulling on your back, try and make sure that you're really hinging at the hips. So this shouldn't be hurting your lower back. And then make sure you're embracing these lower core, and that will support your lower back. So back to hanging down, just relaxing, letting that neck go. You can go side to side. And then we're going to come up onto our fingertips. And we're going to reach out into a flat back, breathing in. And then close your eyes and forward fold. And then just relax. So this should feel quite good. Hands on your hips, straight legs, leading with your chest, breathing in. And as you breathe out, extend those arms. Okay, so we're now going to turn the other leg to face the other way. So this turns out, turning out at the hip. As you bend, you're going to keep the knee turned out. And then this leg, the toes stay on the floor. And we're just going to relax here into warrior 2, looking along that front arm. So really try and relax those shoulders, lengthen those arms. So when it comes to yoga, the temptation can be to push ourselves a little bit too much in some of these poses and to push a little bit too hard. We should always just be allowing our body to just sort of feel that pose and relax gently into it. Otherwise, if you push too much, you can end up doing more damage than good. And especially as you get a bit warmer, you can sometimes push a little bit too much. And also when you're new to it, you're not kind of quite sure where your level is at, so sometimes temptation is to overdo it. I'd always just say pull back a little bit, get used to the movements first, get the technique right, and then you can focus. So you're going to breathe in and then breathe out, and as you breathe out, try and sink and relax and try and go a little bit lower. Breathing in, breathing out. One more. Breathing in, breathing out. And then the same thing this side, you're going to reach out, lengthen, hand comes onto your thigh, and then hand either on your hip or coming up. Option to either look forwards, look down, look up at the hand, and you can also sort of take your hand over and look up to that elbow, whichever feels comfortable for you. And then coming up, turning the feet forwards, relaxing the arms. Okay, so we're going to go back into mountain pose. So feet together, turning the palms forwards, reaching those arms out, coming up, creating that space between the shoulder blades, diving down, abs engaged to support your lower back. Bend your knees, let your tummy relax a little bit further. Flat back. Really lengthen. You might almost think about arching to get that length. Forward fold. Hands on the floor. Stepping back into plank. And then you may wish to put your knees on the floor like what we've been doing. If you want to advance it a little bit, keep your knees off the floor. And we're going to bend the elbows down onto the floor. Relax those toes. Let those shoulders go back. Lengthen those feet. And then think about reaching forwards, extending, coming up. And then if you want some more, you can take it all the way through into up dog. Try and create the length. Make sure you're not here. You're more here. And then tuck those toes under. Lifting up with those hips. Into downward dog. So when I'm in this position, I quite like to bend my knees, push through my hands and get my hips and get the length, and then gradually extend the legs. And then from here, we're going to take our right leg up. We're going to bring it forwards, curling our forehead in towards our knee, and then we're going to step it forwards. So as you curl your forehead into your knee, you should feel those abs and that core working. Hands on the floor here, fingertips. Now, you may wish to stay here. If you want a little bit more, you're going to come all the way up into our crescent pose. You can, options to have your arms extended, hands can stay on your hips, hands can stay in prayer. Make sure your abs are pulled in, tails are tucked under, and really lengthening through that back leg. So loads of variations of how you wish to have your hands. And then from here, hands together, hands to the floor. Take that leg back. Go back into plank. Options, take your knees to the floor or go straight to the floor into a baby cobra or up dog. Tuck your toes under, downward dog. And then this time I'm going to lift the other leg, so lift your left leg up. Bring it forwards. Bring your knee towards your nose towards your knee. And then you're going to step the foot down. Option to stay here. Stay on your fingertips. Or you can come all the way up into crescent pose. This is one of my favourite poses. Okay, hands are going to come back to the floor. Taking the leg back, down to the floor. Back through to cobra or up dog. So remember, when we push up here, you can either keep your knees on the floor like so, or the knees can stay off. It just makes it a little bit more advanced for you. This time you're going to bring your right leg through and left foot down. And as you put the left foot down, it's going to come in at a slight angle. Make sure the little toes are on the floor. And we're going to come all the way up into Warrior One. So, try and sink down. We're going to start with our hips on the floor. Hips on the floor. Hope you knew what I meant. I mean hands on your hips. So, the hand that is opposite to the leg that's forward is going to reach forward. So I've got my right leg bent, so I'm going to reach my left arm forwards, and I'm going to really try and use that to help me square those hips. And then I'm going to reach the other arm up, and when I feel confident that my hips are square, I'm going to reach both arms up into Warrior One. So again, hands can be up, they could be to the side, or they can be in a prayer position, or just on your hips. And then we're going to take our hands to the floor. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So leg back, down to the floor, little cobra or up dog, downward dog. Bring the other leg through, put the foot down on the floor. So make sure the knees over your big toe. Really try and sink down in those legs, keeping the little toe of the other leg on the floor, hips square. So opposite hand reaching forwards, using that to try and help bring that hip forward, and then the other arm up, both hands up, and just feel that Warrior One position. Okay, hands to the floor, leg goes back, down to the floor, coming up, and then through into downward dog. We're going to hold this. Remember, options, take it into child's pose. Try and see if you can work on that downward dog position. So pushing through with the arms, trying to get the chest to the floor, heels to the floor. And then from here, we're going to bend our knees to the floor. You can sit down and then bring the legs around. So legs are in front, and then what you're going to do is just pull your tailbones back, hands on the floor, engage your abs, shoulders back, and we're just going to sit to start with. So the next move, really important that we focus on hinging from the hips and that we engage our abs so we support our lower back. So sitting up, sort of pull your hip bones back a little bit so it makes you hinge already. Engage your abs, hinge from the hips, and we're just going to come forwards. And just take it to wherever is comfortable. Remember, this isn't a competition, and it's about listening to your body and just doing what feels good for you. And things vary from day to day as well. So one day you might feel that you've got more flexibility, other days you might have less energy or less flexibility. So it's really important you just listen to your body and learn to kind of work with your body rather than push it or punish it. Okay, so last little move, we're going to come down onto the floor, and we're going to start in a ball position. So bring your knees into your chest and give your knees a little bit of a hug, and give them a little bit of a circle, and then the other way. And then you're going to reach your left arm out and let your knees drop to the right, and just take it to where's comfortable. It's a very gentle spinal twist. Again, we're not pushing, we're not overdoing it. And then coming back up, hug your knees again. So extend your right arm this time, and look along your right arm and let your left legs drop to let both your legs drop to the left. And then come back. I need to put my teeth back in. Okay, and then from here, one last little pose, and then we'll go into Savasana. We're going to go into baby pose. So grabbing the outside of your feet, and then almost trying to bring your knees down towards your chest. This is called happy baby pose. And what you might want to do is just feel that pose and move around. So pull one leg and then pull one on the other side, pull them equally, and just move and fill that pose. And back into a ball, and then you're going to extend one leg and the other leg. Adjust your t-shirt, that's optional. Turn your palms up to the floor, relax your shoulders to the floor, and then in your own time just close your eyes. And then working from your toes all the way through your body, up to your head, up to your hands and your arms. You're just going to notice each part of your body and just make it relax. So starting with your toes and your feet and your ankle, just feel supported by the floor and let them sink into the floor. And then moving up your legs, so the back of your legs, your calf muscles, and into the back of your thighs, your hamstrings, and just check that they're switched off and just relaxing. They're feeling supported by the floor. Just feel like you're melting away and relaxing into that floor. And then feel your butt muscles, your glutes. Just make sure that they're sort of switched off and relaxed. And feel your back. Feel your back connected to the floor. All of it in contact with the floor or the mat. And just sinking, relaxing deeper and deeper into the floor. Feel the back of your head, the back of your shoulders, the back of your arms and hands, just relaxing and melting away into the floor. And then just breathing. So you may wish to hold this pose for as long as you want. So you can stay here if you want. And then if not, gradually move your fingers, move your toes, move your arms, move your legs. Bring your feet towards your bum. Let your knees roll over to one side. Open your eyes and gradually come up and come back to seating. So I hope you enjoyed that workout. That's just a nice little workout to learn some of the key poses and to get the body moving and feeling good. Hope you enjoyed that. Look out for the next workout and more workouts coming soon. Take care. Bye.